Hello, everyone. It is me, Samuel, with the Samuel Brock Flynn Show. We have a special guest, Mr. Wayne, here tonight with us. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, thank you.
What do you think? How do you feel about the second Trump assassination attempt?
Well, see, these guys are supposed to be the very best of the very best. I think that some of these Navy SEALs and Special Forces guys ought to come in and take care of the president and get paid for it. Right now, they've got a law that they put in that you have to have a college education to be part of the Secret Service. Now, I think if they opened it up to GIs, and Special Forces guys and Navy SEALs, Green Berets, Army Rangers, they would be some of the best bodyguards ever.
How do you hands down? Right. How do you feel? See, the other night, I don't think I told you about this. I had a tyrannical person that I had to deal with on TikTok. You see, and this person I was just talking to, trying to rationalize and be peaceful on there, and this guy just goes off the deep end. And also, not to mention, he started talking about me preaching God that I had no business, blah blah blah. Started acting like somebody that I used to.
Offended at the word. That's what it was.
Yeah, that
when people are offended at what you say, they start accusing you of being something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Well, he was a good guy, and then talk about you mean. Oh yeah. They doesn't say there's something wrong with you right up front.
Yeah. Well, I come into it calm, not attacking, not really debating why of anything. I'm not a debate monger or a war monger or a or anything like that. I'm a
talk it out with people and win people over and have a friend instead of an enemy.
Yeah, it's best to talk it out with someone than to have an enemy, for sure. I mean, I've tried many times with people I've went to school with, things like that, and they just want to be enemies, but that's okay. They just need, it's not okay, but what they need is some God and stuff in them for that to, you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, well, you know what really gets me though, Samuel, is that Kamala, Biden, they're supposed to set the examples for the rest of the Democratic Party. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And they said they was going to tune down the rhetoric, right? Mm-hmm. So what did they do? Right after he gets shot at again, they stop the guy from shooting at him, and the Secret Service guy shot 4 rounds at the guy because he pointed a AK-47 at him. And
you gotta keep him up.
And I guess the guy dropped the gun, maybe a round hit the gun or something, and he took off running.
Right.
And he had the drop on the Secret Service guy, but the Secret Service guy was on his game and he wasn't playing. So that's how I look at it. Some of these guys have been great people. These Secret Service guys have been great people. And then they cut them back and cut them back and cut them back and cut them back till they don't have any of the same things they had 5 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So they're understaffed, overworked, and they don't give them enough people to do the job.
Right. And but my point while ago though was on TikTok that there's no excuse for this guy to cut me off and not let me finish my statement. My statement was going to be the freedom of speech.
When they're losing, Samuel, they just want to throw a couple of bricks at you and then hang up. You know that. That's how people do. They can't stand up and debate or talk about something anyway.
Right.
I mean, I don't claim to be the greatest debater, but I used to go on a lot of the big 50,000 watt radio stations across the country because it was important to let people know about friends of mine that were being falsely accused. And so I was the guy that would get on the big 50,000 watt stations. And when they try to get me off or say something bad about me, I would literally do things like, yeah, go ahead and just hang up on me and show everybody that you're the one that's been lying on this whole thing. Because I got the truth and the evidence on this, and you don't want me saying it. That's your whole problem. And I tell them just like that, And I guess it'd take them off pretty good, but I didn't care.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people. There's people. Hey, there's people that hate me, and hey, there's people that hate me, and thing of it is, they don't. Some of these people don't have God in their heart to forgive, and they just got involved with Satan's work and Satan and worshiping him in voodoo and just all that nonsense.
Hey, Sam, here's how it happens. Look, if me and you meet, I can't say, and you're a nice guy to me, and we get along pretty good and everything. But then I find out that you're a Trump supporter. Well, should I go after you and hate you and all that stuff? No.
No.
No way. I mean, if I can't talk to you as my friend, there's something wrong with me. But these people, they don't care. I mean, they're just as ruthless and low down, dirty, rotten as anything I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, same. Don't take me the wrong way, but it's the same difference as in if I believe in Jesus Christ. People will do the same thing and have bitter hatred because you believe in Jesus Christ.
They crucified the Lord and they hung him on the cross and stuck a sword in his side because they couldn't say that he was a good guy. They had to say he was bad. And that's what happens with these people accusing Donald Trump of being Hitler and all that stuff. If anything, Kamala and that bunch, they directly fit in the picture of brown shirts. Now, the brown shirts were kids probably in their, from about 14 up to about 18, or maybe even 13 up to about 18 or 19. And they had run of the German country. They could go around, and their job was to cause as much problems for the Jewish storekeepers as they could. They would break out their windows, they'd throw their food in the floor and step on it and all that. I mean, they were just ruthless to the Jews. And the more they did, the more they got praised for being Adolf Hitler's brown shirts. Look it up. You'll see. You can Google it.
I believe you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then, well, it don't help that this guy that I supposedly was on a debate for when I was actually just coming in there peacefully reminded me of a manager and coworker that barely knew who I was or knew what I was about. He just reminded me of her just because of just the way he was conducting himself, talking to me like a dog or all that, and don't even know me.
Yeah, they think they have a right to look down their nose at you because you're just a Trump supporter, Oh, yeah. You're just following him like a cult leader, blah, 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 blah. Well, they might be following Kamala like she's a cult leader or Hillary Clinton,
Right.
I'm with her, all that bull crap that she tried to pull. She is just a worthless old hag now, and I'm so glad.
Well,
she's just a pitiful old
two words I want to say. Just because we're a Trump supporter don't mean you Karens or Jessicas out there. And what I mean by a Jessica is another form of the same difference of a Karen, really. But they don't know about you, know who you are, nothing like that. But they continue being a Karen and attacking you and have visceral hatred towards you and try to say you disrespect people and just create a false narrative on you and you're like, what? I've had some false narratives happen on me, and I've told you about them, and I just, I'm thinking, I know I don't do those things, and it's just time for this stuff to stop. What do we have to do? Protest in front of these businesses that maybe I used to work for, and just do that? We could do that, and believe you me, there's people I know that want to do that, and
well, if they are having a Democratic,
they want to put picket signs up. They want to put picket
there's
signs
a lot
up
of
there.
Democrats in Tennessee.
Yeah.
There's more Republicans, though, thank God. But I'll go there and tell them all off. I don't care.
Yeah. They want to put the people I know want to put picket signs out there in front of their doors anymore. It just way these companies are running. Especially if they're woke, they really want to do that. They really want to put picket signs in front of their door and boycott their business, obviously, and and also probably want to protest them out of the area that we live in. That's sort of what or change. It's either A, they have to change, or A, go on, get out. You're no longer welcome.
I'll tell you one thing, Samuel, and you mark my words. All these underhanded things that the Democrats have been doing consistently over and over, lying, accusing, hating, calling Donald Trump, Hitler. He's a fascist. He said he's going to get rid of the Constitution when he gets in office. They just lie like hell.
Since when? Okay, first of all, since when did he attack them? That's what I want to know, and call them names like that.
Right, they're the ones attacking, and they just lie on anything. They make it up as they go. Yep. You got to remember that.
Yeah, I've been requested
making that stuff up, smooth, making it up, and they don't have any conscience about it. They just lie, Yeah.
So we don't want people to be, no Karens or Jessicas out there. We want people to be normal and think normal and stop being on this binge of attacking people, and stop doing that. Because if we're not attacking and yelling at you first, there's no need to yell.
Well, what they do is, like you said, they get on the phone or something, and then they yell at you, and say all that they're going to do to you. I just tell them, hey, come on over and do your thing. Let's see how long it lasts.
Right. But yeah, that's it comes down to it that you have employers that are acting visceral hatred and acting like these Karens and Jessicas out here. And I just gave the characteristics of did you hear anybody yell in the background?
No.
Okay, good.
But I'll tell you something. These Democrats, they always play the race card. They always play the victim, and that there's something wrong with you. That's their whole play. And they try to do that to Donald Trump. They try to do it to Vance, the one that's his vice president.
J.D. Vance, yes.
J.D. Vance. And,
I started quoting the Constitution to these people the other night, and they were not liking it. They were the one that they cut me off on is when I started reading amendments to the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments, not commandments, first 10 amendments was ratified on December 15th, 1791. Those amendments. I don't know what amendments they have now, but the amendments, that I have right here are the true Constitution of the United States, and that's talking about the
the people that wrote the Constitution and all the amendments and everything, they had a vision for a free country. Do you know that if you pay taxes on your house, you don't own it? You just don't pay your taxes 1 year and you'll find out who really owns it. The bank will come take it. That's after you paid your house off and you own it free and clear. So.
Right. Well, when I first started, back to what I was saying, quoting Amendment 1, Congress shall make no law respecting establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition government for a redress of grievance. That is that is exactly what happened, was infringement upon that the other night, especially if this guy um, found out information that he, I guess, used to belong to our uh, government, or himself, according to what I read, but I have no idea. I can't confirm that, but I'm going by the rumor or said opinion about this. So,
I'm going to see if I can get Trump's telephone number.
but um, but for certain, what should be done about this is people that infringe upon that is that should be deemed as a.
They're the ones that are a threat to democracy and are also our republic. Yeah, because they want to print up money in the trillions of dollars now and put it on the national debt. And where did all that money go? I want to see all the paperwork where $42 trillion went to. You know, I bet you can't find none of that paperwork. They all ought to be arrested.
Right.
I'm serious. If they don't know where all that money went, they're the ones that put it out there. They're responsible for it. They should be immediately impeached and tried for treason. You know, they just can't do this stuff. They're inflicting all these illegal aliens on everybody to go out and attack people and do all that. If they start doing that here in Tennessee, they're going to be laying around dead in the streets. You know what I
mean? Yeah.
Nobody's going to feel sorry for them. They're just going to be shot. And what else can you say? You know?
Right.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And they just keep going and going and going and attacking. And they won't even talk decent to Donald Trump. He goes to that black bunch of people that work in the media, the black people's, like, that girl from ABC was on there, that black girl.
Mm-hmm.
And she disrespected Donald Trump, treated him like a dog. You know, so he just told her, "You got a lot of stinking nerve. You know, here I waited for you because your equipment wasn't working for a half an hour, and Kamala was supposed to be there, and she didn't show up." You know?
Mm-hmm. Well, what I feel like is, I mean, what I tried telling the guy too is, and I don't think it's hypocritical at all, but it's just the law of our land and laws of, being respectful, quoting it. But at the same time, I quoted the Bible. Now, God wants us to be free, but he also wants his people protected from the criminals, the murderers, the rapists, the people that are not have any morals.
You better be ready because these people are ruthless, man. These what do you call it? Trendele Or, you know what it means? It means the Agura train.
Right.
The Agura train means these jokers are 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 acting like they're in charge on the train. When they're in an area, they take over everything. You know,
Right.
rob people, rape people. I'll tell you what, they try to come up here with that stuff. They'll take them out in body bags.
Right.
You don't mess with people from Tennessee. They just shoot real accurately. They're some of the best shots in the whole country.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
These Tennessee people have been shooting their whole life. You know, they used to, in the old days, they used to go out and bag deer all the time. My wife said her husband used to get 1 or 2 deers a year and bring home the meat, so they had extra meat. And he worked too, you know, but he would go hunting all the time or fishing, and he'd bring back plenty of food, boy. But these people are just like low-life creeps. I can't understand how they can be so vile to everybody that they deal with. They don't talk nice to anybody. They even talk down to one another. But then they get all heady, you know, like, well, hey, you can't talk to me like that. Who do you think you are? Blah, 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 blah. Well, buddy, who do you think you are? You're not anything to me. You don't even matter in my life. So go on and get about your business and leave me alone. That's the best thing you can do for yourself. You know? But what they're doing is they're going after Donald Trump. Doesn't matter what he's done. If they think he's done something wrong, or they can twist it into saying he's done something wrong, then, you know, it's like they blame Donald Trump for the second shooter who wanted to shoot him, that he incited the guy. How can he incite the guy? The Democrats were the ones pushing all the incitement, and he even said out loud that he was gonna get rid of Trump because he was an existential threat to America. You know, exactly the Democratic playbook. You know.
Right.
So people need to wake up and really smell the coffee, because it's going to be too late. If we don't get Donald Trump in office, they will come after us. They'll sick all these illegal aliens on us that they can, because the reason they wanted those illegal aliens was because they're most of them are young men between 18 and 30. Okay? Well, what that means are they're perfect army age to go right into the army. Well, in America, the American people that you know, are in the Army, the Marines, Navy SEALs, whatever, they have the restraint of that.
Somebody, okay, I did see this.
They're supposed to do, and these other people just try to torment them and accuse them of anything, just to throw them off. You know.
I did see this on the news today, on C-SPAN. There was a man that called in on C-SPAN, and it's all over True Social. What's going on is a man from C-SPAN called in and started going, you know, but he made a threat towards Donald Trump. He was praising the gunman for going and trying to attempt Trump, or to assassinate Trump. I mean,
yeah, those people got to be picked up, arrested, and thrown in jail.
Yeah, exactly.
With no bail. No bail.
Yeah, I mean, it should, you know, just to think about what if they, you know, from a forensics point of theorized view.
They can get 30 years for saying they're going to shoot the president or the ex-president of the United States. They can get 30
They should
years.
be able to. They should. As far as I know, they arrested the gunman, but to make threats on the phone, on live television
the
like
gunman's
that.
going to go to jail for 20 to 30 years, and he didn't even get to even fire his gun, but he's going to jail for 20 to 30 years, maybe longer.
Right.
He's not getting away with that because him and he pointed his gun at the Secret Service guy that was the head of the whole crew and stuck the gun through and pointed it at him. And that's when he just drew his gun, man, and unloaded 4 rounds into those pads he had all set up with tile in there. They had a hard tile in there, and that's what people use for a breastplate to to stop the bullets so you don't go into you with a like an AR or a AK-47. So any of those rifles are they can stop the bullets with that those big bags of tile he had hung up on the thing. That was his blockade and his bulletproof deal that he had set up there. And all he had to do is stick his gun out over the top, and boom, when Donald Trump walked by, he'd be like 30 feet away from him. He could have killed him easy. He stayed there for 12 hours, so, he wasn't afraid to be out there on his own. He was on a mission. And these Muslims are worse, They'll strap bombs on them, make a run at you, and when they get close enough, they'll push the button,
Mm-hmm.
Tell you what, if it was me, I would put so much bullets in those suckers, they go down harder than a stinking dump truck. They just go. They would not get up again. I'd shoot them 5 times before they dropped.
Right. Well, I do appreciate you coming on here and things, but what I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. You take it easy, but
I hope we don't go into civil war here in America. But
I don't either. But
the
that's
Democrats are trying to do is provoke a civil war so they can declare martial law and hang on to the office. Now Trump is going to be smarter because he's going to go right in and when the ballots are counted, he's going right on in and that's it. When it's over that night, he'll have the votes. They don't even have any idea how many people are going to vote the last day. Nobody knows. But I guarantee you, there'll be tens of thousands of extra voters voting for Donald Trump when it gets closer to the time of the election. And that's a good thing.
Well, I do appreciate you for coming on. You take care.
All right, buddy.
All right. You have a great night. You guys be careful out there. Just don't be a Karen or Jessica. That's all I ask for. And Jessica used to is somebody. It's an inside joke, but
a dirty Dan. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing, dirty Dan? Dirty dancing.
Yeah, and of course,
Dirty Dan might be like a Karen, I guess.
Yeah, this lady that was somebody that I don't really know was just like telling me off and saying, you should be more transparent, you should be this and it should be that, and you stop disrespecting people and whatever. And I'm just sitting there like, what?
So we can explain to them where they're wrong.
Right.
See, they think when they call into your show or something like that, or talk to you on the phone, they think that you're the one that's doing wrong. They already have that's settled in their mind. You're a MAGA,
well, yeah, the thing of it is though, this person doesn't know me. You can't judge a book. You can't judge a book by its cover. You can't pretend like you know somebody, and then when you don't, you can't go around doing that, because that'll only that can only cause future problems. Like you know, you don't know how.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can't, keep everything straight. If people are attacking you, and that's all you can do is kind of fight back. But I think that people need to calm down and just talk about stuff. It's better to have friends than enemies.
Right.
What if some really devoted.
And what I
Trump
certainly
followers,
do not like.
no,
Well,
Trump
well, wait a minute. What I
that
certainly
came out of
don't.
special forces
What,
that were snipers before, and they see all this hatred coming out of the Democratic Party. The only three times that anybody got attacked with weapons in the last 15, 20 years is by the Democratic Party. Remember that guy that got shot and put in a wheelchair
yes.
because they were playing baseball and they
I
shot him.
am running out of I am sorry, but I am running out of time. I will have to end this now.
Buddy.
All right, you take care. Have a great night.
You too. Yeah, have a good night.
You too.